Welcome to another episode of Enterprise AI Explainer Series. I'm here with Ben Koo, CTO of Box. My name is Meena Ganesh, Senior Product Marketing Manager for AI at Box. Today, we're talking security, permissions, and access controls when it comes to AI. Ben, I've heard horror stories about companies with all the right intentions and all the promises of productivity with AI, using AI and then having their very, very sensitive, regulated data even leaked. How can they prevent this from happening?
Yeah, it's actually like kind of a fundamental problem, and it's a big challenge to the enterprise because if you think about it, like these AI models, their job is to tell you what you want to know. They will, if the more they know, they'll happily answer for you. They don't really have a sense of like that you are or are not supposed to know something. And even if they did, they like not very good at it. It would almost be like taking an intern in a company or a new hire and say, here's all of the info about everything that we do across everything in the company. Go answer people's questions. And then at some point, somebody might ask them a question of sensitive data, and they'll just happily tell. They don't even know it's sensitive. And so they'll have you have this problem of how do you control that? And so if you have like an internet application, like a consumer-based thing, like this is actually a bonus, right? Because the AI models know so much and they're just happily answering things. But it's like all public data. But in an enterprise, not only is the enterprise data not really to be shared anywhere, but also every person has different access to different parts of the enterprise of data. So you have to then kind of help manage that. And so the challenge really is how do you go down this path of being able to get data in a way that is controlled in an enterprise setting. Mm-hmm. And from our previous episodes, I think you know, like, what do you do to get data in the enterprise? I
know the answer to this one.
Yes.
RAG.
So with RAG, you're able to like go look up data. And so the nice thing is you can put a bunch of data somewhere as controlled and then have it basically, the AI can just go look up that specific data. Now, there's if you're not careful, and this is maybe some of the stories that you heard, like somebody will say, I know, I'm going to take some data in my enterprise or get a lot of data. I'm going to stick it somewhere. I'm going to have RAG work on it. But then depending on whatever the data is in there, like what if a user asks things like, what's the salaries of my peers? Like what's the upcoming financial report? What is an M&A thing? Like, and then if the data's in there, the AI will just, again, happily retrieve it, happily answer it for you. So you need a way to basically do RAG that is aware of the permissions of the users and then be able to kind of filter the stuff that it gets.
Mm-hmm. But you have to do it before the whole RAG process
Correct.
Even kicks off.
Yeah, the retriever has to be permissions aware to then go only retrieve things and not just like sometimes, not just like make a good decision, but like never possibly ever get access to things that user doesn't have access to.
So almost like a secure way of doing RAG, like a secure RAG.
Secure RAG. I would normally say user permissions aware RAG, but your way is better.
Yes.
Yeah. So the way that it would work would be that you would have the retriever be tied to the permissions of the user. So if you had access to, let's say something like in Box, like this is where AI platform works. If you go to retrieve something, then you have to first double check that not only is it relevant information for this question in that retrieval step, but you also then go through and make sure that the user has access to it. In fact, you only would ever present the AI model or even the retrieval step with the things that the user would have already had access to. And then, so you basically tie the idea of being able to do AI with tying it to the idea of being able to see something. Mm-hmm. And then only then can you then have the data and then go through to get the answer. So the idea would be that you would never, the AI can never tell you something you don't know, that you don't have access to because it only looked at things you had access to.
Interesting. Okay, so if we think about the trinity of permissions here, based on what you're saying, it's user access to the right content,
yep.
Right? Which, sure, long existed before AI came into the picture, absolutely. Yep. Then it's user access to AI. Yep. Should a user in an organization even be allowed to use AI on that content? Yep. But then it sounds like it's also AI's access to the content that the user also has access to. So there's 3 layers here that AI has to take care of.
Yeah, and it's very important that the AI cannot ever have access to something that the user doesn't. And so you have to tie those permissions together.
Interesting. Okay, that sounds like a rules-based access control. Is that the same thing?
So RBAC, or role-based access controls, is part of it because in some cases, like if you're in product marketing, like then some people product marketing just get access to certain things, right? It's like a common thing that people use. But it should go well beyond role-based access control. It's actually you have access to certain things. Like somebody shared with you something that's only you have access to, and a lot of things. Like the things you have access to, or any two people in almost any organization, is different. And so you can't just do role-based. You have to do user-based access controls. And so the idea would be that you would have to have a system that knows explicitly every single thing you have access to, and then be able to retrieve it. You can't really go retrofit on top and be like, oh, all like this is a marketing document, therefore all marketing people have it. Like that's not true. You would have to, like if it's part of a project that you work on that only you're supposed to have access to, it needs to be aware that you have access to these things. So this is the challenge of permissions and user permissions. It is an old challenge. It is something that has been around for a long time. But and then in many cases, actually, there's like a source of truth to it. Like at Box, we know all about what people have said, who they've collaborated with, how they've chosen to open things for edit, or collaborate for things for edit, for viewing, and so on. And then you just need to respect those permissions and apply them to AI when it comes time to do it.
Yeah, and to your point, this whole challenge of permissions, but that having been around for quite a while, it's almost with the advent of AI, that problem is now exacerbated, right? Because AI will look at things that maybe the user is not supposed to, generate answers, and then that's how data leakages happen.
Yeah. So my thoughts for anybody who's wants to do AI securely. Number one, make sure that your platform that you use is able to read these user-based permissions. Never even consider using AI that doesn't have its own very specific user-based access controls built into it and very aware of them. If it's the platform that you use, like an email platform, like unstructured content, like a platform like Box, a data platform, your CRM platform, and so on, it'll use those permissions. Or if you have another third-party system that you buy or that you build yourself, you have to sync those permissions and keep them up to date because they change all the time. People add and remove things. And so you have to keep that up to date. And it's actually a hard challenge for any third party to do. So, but no matter what, make sure you do that step first, that you always rely on platforms that are very aware of the user-based access controls so that you never have to worry about it because it's the same as the data that they naturally have access to in other parts of their job.
So wait. Do they have to worry about AI learning and then remembering permissions? Because there is also this whole concept of models. Yes, they are pre-trained, but then they also learn based on like the feedback that you give.
Yeah, it's a good question. The good answer is, the answer that's helpful is that AI, when it's doing inference, when it's answering questions, it doesn't actually remember. So it is different from normal people. Is that if you tell me something, you kind of remember at that moment. But for AI, when it's doing inference, not training, but when it's inference, it doesn't remember anything. It's stateless from that perspective. So it'll answer your question and then immediately forget it. And that's just the way technologically it works. And then it's important, though, to make sure that well, could it remember a different way? Could it log it? Could it do other things? And the answer would be that for enterprises would be make sure that when you're doing AI, you get your whoever's controlling the AI process, like a company like Box, we would say we will guarantee to you that we will forget immediately after we do AI. We won't log the details. We won't allow other people to log the details so that it turns into a training run. In general, you want to just be clear that you're treating your data that's going through AI similar to how you treat your data when you're storing it or using it or collaborating in other ways. So there is a way to do secure RAG to be able to do secure AI on your content, but you just got to make sure that you have the platforms that provide you those capabilities.
Got it. Okay, so I feel like we talked about a variety of aspects here when it comes to security, permissioning, and granular access control. We talked about why it's so important for enterprises, how to avoid that data leakage. What would be the TLDR here for
TLDR
our viewers
is make sure that you use RAG in a platform that is very, very aware of your permissions of your users.
So make sure you use secure RAG. Got it. That's a good tip, Ben. Thanks. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to Enterprise AI Explainer series. See you next time.